Hi Annabelle, thank you very much
Hi,
for joining us on Geek Curio. How are you today?
Oh, I'm pretty good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good, I'm very good. It's been a long day, but I'm really super excited to finally get to speak to you because I have been saving this for weeks. Because I was going to open it on our interview. We did agree that we'll open it on my interview, and I've been a very good boy. So, and Santa
You
has
definitely have more self-control than me.
Yes, I'm very proud. I'm very proud of that. But we are going to be talking a little bit later about your Kickstarter, Modular Realms, and what you did with that. But first of all, I would like to know how you got into role-playing games in the first place.
Oh, to be honest, it's not that great a story.
There are no wrong answers. There are no wrong answers, trust me.
I mean, I've always loved fantasy genres, especially like when I was growing up. My brother got me into Terry Pratchett books, and then, I was just sold. And so Dungeons and Dragons was something that I always wanted to play. But my family isn't as nerdy as I am. And a lot of my friends were geeky, but in different ways. So I didn't really have anyone to play it with. And I was quite a shy person, so I didn't want to just go to a game shop on my own and meet up with strangers and start a hobby that way.
I know that feeling.
Like, yeah, it's terrifying. So I waited for the longest time. And then when I came to New Zealand to do my PhD, I saw the university, one of the people there had advertised that they were starting a campaign. And I was like, this is my chance, because I have no friends in New Zealand at the moment. I can make nerdy friends.
You can make nerdy friends with hobbits, because they are native to New Zealand, of course.
Exactly. And I do know quite a few short people.
Spooky that.
Yeah, so then I started the campaign, and of course I'd never played before. I didn't get told any of the rules before. I just showed up and then started doing things. And it was wonderful. Like, I just loved being in a world and having that feeling that you can do anything. It's not like a video game where you reach the end and there's like a fog cloud and you can't go through it, and you're like, but no, you can just keep going and do whatever you want. There's no like scripted conversations, and it feels like the adventure you go on is so much more real because the players you're interacting with are real people. So every single person in the party is a main character with a well thought out personality, and it's I was sold.
3 or 4 hours you're someone else. You're someone with power at their fingertips, an expert swordsman. It's it's a great feeling. Out of curiosity, what was your first character? What did you pick?
I was a dwarven artificer called Kahak.
Going a bit steampunkish there, maybe?
Just a tad.
Just a tad.
Not fully, because it was a fantasy setting.
Yes.
But I feel like dwarves and gnomes are really great for kind of exploring the tinkerer side of things.
Yes.
And I do feel like if I was a class in real life, I'd be an artificer. Tinkering.
I would say so, yeah. What I know. I love gnomes. I've got a gnome necro-cleric who is actually a good guy. And he carries around what's left of his wife. He's just trying to fix her. It's very sad. But he does like tinkering with dead bodies as well. So he just... he's a very curious one. Yeah. So have you done much more D&D playings, or you just stick to the gnome and dwarves, or what else do you like to spread out into?
So I've played, of course, Tiefling. I love bards, and I have not had a chance to bard in a campaign yet. It's like each time I've joined a campaign, someone else has been already in there playing a bard, and I've been like, gosh darn it. So I've been an artificer, then an artificer with a different subclass, then I was a rogue, then a warlock, and I'm hopefully going to be entering a game real soon as a druid. So, about 5 campaigns I played in.
You've been busy, and you're doing a PhD as well.
Was doing a PhD, alas, no longer.
I shall not ask. Bards are fantastic to play. My first character was a bard, and she was awesome. Awesome. Everyone remembers Chaz. That's not her actual name. That's the only way they could pronounce it. But she got known as Shaz, and she was a bit crazy, but all right.
The best people are.
Yes, of course they are. So we've talked about miniature painting in the past, and what sort of miniatures have you painted? Have you painted for your campaigns, or do you just like getting loads and loads of stuff and painting?
I paint mostly for myself. Sometimes with Modular Realms, and I need to take pictures of the terrain and things. So the miniatures just help dress it up.
Yes.
But honestly, I'm not that good. So I started miniature painting about 6 months ago. No, about 10 months ago, I guess. And they're alright, but to be honest, I do it more as a fun hobby and just a way to relax than as something that I'd really want to. Do
you enjoy it?
Exactly.
Yes, then your painting is superb. That's all you need to know. That's the way I look at it. I've got a friend who really stresses about how good his stuff looks, and believe it or not, he's got a natural raw talent that's better than me. But he is very, very critical, and so he's got to let go of that, because the rest of the time he's having a blast. So
yes,
and that's the way I think everyone should think about miniature painting.
Yeah, when I do it, it's because I enjoy it rather than. Occasionally, there's a monster where I'm like, I want to throw that at my players. I'm going to do it, and then I'll buy the monster and paint it.
You just said my players, so you've done some DMing as well?
Oh yes. Yes. I mean, it's real addictive. I love playing, but then if there isn't a campaign with an open slot nearby, I love DMing too. And so at the moment I've got 2 campaigns on the go, and I do one shot sporadically, every couple of weeks, because I think I'm a little bit like really evangelical people that want to spread their religion. I'm a paladin of D&D. That's what I am.
That's what you are.
So yeah. So when I find people and they go, "Oh, I've heard of D&D. I've always wanted to play it," and I'm like, "I'm running a one shot. It's in 2 weeks. They're all new players. Come join." I just gather people that have never played before, and I'm like, I'm going to introduce you.
Knocking on people's doors saying, "Have you heard about D&D?"
Exactly.
Have you heard about 5th edition, sir?
Would you like a little copy of the rule book? A little pamphlet?
Here's a cheat sheet.
Yes.
No, it's. I get that as well. I mean, I get a lot of people saying always wanted to do D&D. I've had a bit of DM fatigue recently, so as in I have not played or DM'd in a year, maybe 18 months. So
wow.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I think it's because a lot of people prefer the combat, but I prefer the role playing.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to say I've got a massive talent for it, but if people start asking me who my name is or anything, I can normally come up with something quite quickly. I'm not going to say the last one I came up with because it's actually extremely rude, but I do a variety of voices and everything as well. I just make it, and that's the most fun bit for me. I find that the combat 2 minutes of combat can last 2 hours, and I find that draining, really, really emotionally draining. Especially when people are a bit too involved with the rules, whereas it's just loosen up, have
rules
fun.
Lawyers do upset me a little bit.
Yeah,
I'm like, just go with it. It's fine.
Yeah,
it's fine.
That's how you do it.
Yeah. So I try and stick to the rules as much as possible. But rule of cool is like the grand overlord rule, and I will always go for that over a smaller one.
Absolutely. I'm glad to know that. I would love to be in one of your campaigns one day if you ever come back to this side of the world.
Well, I'm sure I will be at some point. If nothing else, visits and holidays and things.
So, before I get round to opening this baby, where did you get the idea for doing this?
Aha! Well, yeah, so basically, when I was starting to, so I got into D&D about 2 years ago now, and I started properly DMing about 1.5 years ago, and I wanted to get terrain, and it was expensive. And as a student, I was like, yeah.
Terrain or food.
So, yeah, exactly. So then I started looking at ways to maximize the money that I'd spend. So one thing was, I was like, I want the terrain to be reversible, because then I get essentially 2 types of terrain for one price. So then, you know, if I got like a stone side and a wood side, then at least I could have the inside tavern things and then the dungeon beneath it or whatever. And I only have to buy one set. And so I went to Google, first I went to Amazon, then I went to Etsy, and I was looking around for reversible double-sided terrain. And it wasn't really a thing. There were like a few things out there, but not much. And I was like, but that seems like such an obvious thing.
Yeah.
And then I was like, right, okay. And then the ones that were out there, they were usually handmade from foam, which was fine, but...
Durability.
Exactly. So then I was thinking, alright, so... I mean, I could try and make some of this from foam myself. And then I was starting to make it, and then I was like, one of the things I'd like to do is have something like magnets in there so it snaps together. So I started putting magnets in the foam. And it was about this time, so at this point I'd been doing my PhD. And then I had a car accident and a brain injury. And then, yeah, I know, it was unfortunate. And I couldn't really do my PhD anymore. And, like, I couldn't read very easily, I couldn't watch TV and things. But the, like, spatial part of my brain was just fine. So I could do things with my hands. Yeah. So I started fiddling around with the terrain, making the different polystyrene bricks and putting the magnets in, trying different orientations. And because that was the bit of my brain that was still working, like, it almost became my recovery, and it was just, like, wonderful to still be doing things. So I just put my heart and soul into designing new things, different techniques, getting different strength magnets, different size magnets, different positions. And then I went to the university makerspace, and they basically introduced me to 3D printing. And then, whereas I had like kind of polystyrene or little foam bricks, I could then go in and design it on a CAD program. And again, using the spatial part of your brain, you don't need to be able to read to do CAD design. I mean, it helps, but you don't have to. Yeah. And then I could design things. I could have an idea in the morning, design it over coffee at 11, print it out, and before I went home in the evening, I would be holding it in my hand. Like, and that was just magic, to have an idea become real. And so
it's like part of your brain, so an idea becoming so tangible and a physical object in your hand.
Right.
And that story, I mean, I've just tried not to cry, because that isn't just a Kickstarter, that's everything.
Yeah, like...
So I say your recovery, your rehabilitation, your...
Yeah,
right. I'm trying not to swear on my own show now, so...
Yeah, I often refer to Modular Realms as my baby, and, you know, it's like, it's a joke. But I really do care about it.
Really is.
Because it's like, it's really a part of me, and I was like, oh wow.
The intrinsic value of this small tiny package, which has been sitting in my house for about 4 weeks, has just exponentially got a lot more Wow. Right. Yeah, no one's actually floored me with that. Floored me before. Right, I'm gonna... Tankard, wow, tankard, coffee tankard. I love it.
Coffee tankard, yeah, I know.
I need something to...
So 21st century.
I know, I've got a glass. I got lemonade in a glass, so...
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I do make out that it's water, because it's not fizzy at all, but it really is lemonade, because I have a sweet tooth and I like lemonade.
That's fair. That is fair.
I don't like water as much as I like lemonade, although water should be a lot better for me.
Yeah.
So, you had a physical thing, and I assume you introduced it to your players, and they loved it.
Yes.
And then you decided to give it to the world. So, the Kickstarter. How did that come about?
Again, I kind of feel like I became a businesswoman by accident. So I was making the terrain for my players and for myself. And then people kept coming into the workshop and seeing it and they're going, oh man, that's so cool. Oh, that's awesome. Are you selling it? And I was like, no, I'm not selling it. And in the end, I got so tired of telling people, no, I'm not selling it. I was like, all right, so if I was to sell it, how would I? And then, so there's different things about how I'd make it. And then the trouble is, to start a business, you need money. Yes. And like, the government is very happy to let you get into debt over education and things, but they're not happy to let you get a loan for a business. Or it's a lot harder. So I was thinking, okay, Kickstarter. Because I know I've backed a lot of Kickstarters and I just like it. And I like the idea of having the community start this. Yeah. Like, not going to an angel investor, not going to the government or a bank, having every member of the community be part of it. And, like, all the financial support that comes to building the business is all the people that are really interested and invested in seeing the business work. Because they get the product and they see a little bit of what's coming. So then I was like, all right, gotta do a Kickstarter. Yeah. Never run a Kickstarter before. And there are some lessons I have learnt from it. Back a kit. Should have done a pledge manager. Should have done a pledge manager. So this is something I have definitely learnt, and for the next one it will be better.
Was that because, if I remember correctly, we filled in a form on the Kickstarter, didn't we? And that... Yeah. Yeah, and then you ended up with something that you needed to keep track of, and who was going to have what.
Yes, everything. And then when I went into the Kickstarter, I thought I'd maybe get, 50 backers, 100 backers, something like that. So I thought, okay, I don't need to pay for a pledge manager. I can handle that myself, and it will be okay. And then it really sort of took off. And I think I ended up having 380 pledges finally. And then, of course, all the people that pledged and then dropped out and then came in, and then people trying to late pledge and things. Like, and suddenly I was like, ooh, this is a lot. Oh, I love what you did with your eyebrow there. The raising one eyebrow.
Roger Moore.
Sorry.
I can't do the other one. I can't. Dwayne The Rock Johnson does the other one, but I can't do it. Oh. That's as far as I go.
I try and do it, but I can only do it if I move this one down. It's real sad. Yeah.
So, over 300 peoples.
Yes.
Were you surprised? Stunned?
Just a tad. Like, I knew that I really wanted to make this a thing, but I never expected it to take off the way it did. Like, and to have so many people from all over the world. Like, I've had backers from Puerto Rico, from Iceland, from Japan, from America, from Australia, from Romania and Sweden, like everywhere. And it's just like, oh man, you guys, like, it's just so nice to have all these people that don't know me. They just know the idea, and they like it enough that they're willing to take a chance on me and give me money and take the tiles. And I'm like, and you know, I've had pictures come through. People have put pictures on the Facebook group and things of them using it in their home games, and it does make me a little bit teary when I think, like, it's so daft, but seeing my terrain being in people's games and all the stories they're going to tell with their friends using my terrain at their kitchen tables, and I'm like, oh man.
You're going to get me cry. You know what? You are going to make me cry in this interview, because I am.
Oh god.
This is probably the most emotional one I've ever been on, but yes, I am. I was one of your backers, and it was in the Goblins of Mordor Discord group, and Michael introduced you.
Yeah.
And he just told us about this thing. I think he just posted a link to the Kickstarter saying, here's Annabelle's Kickstarter, I'm going to do a video, sort of thing. And I was looking at it, and I was like going, this is great. I mean, I've looked at... I know the other miniature terrain companies that are out there that do Kickstarters for this, and I know their price point. And
yes.
For you were offering, it felt like you were offering so much more for so much less, and I was like, this woman's insane. She could charge double and I'll pay it. Sorry.
I have been told that a lot, and I'm like, oh dear.
But it was Michael. I mean, I can't remember whether I backed it before or after Michael's video came out, but I was sold, and I think it was Tim Tharavol as well, the enabler. I think I was the one who ended up enabling him, because I was just waxing lyrical about it in the Discord chat. I was going, this is amazing, I want this, I want all of it, I want the church as well, I want to put church and put it on the thing, and it's, I just wanted everything, and I keep swallowing my hair. I'm going to have to stop. I really should have had a hairband, I normally do.
Oh, wow.
But I was over the moon, and I was really excited about it, and I can't wait anymore, sorry.
Okay, go for it. I've never seen someone open it in front of me. I'm nervous.
Yeah. The packaging is perfect as well. I mean, literally.
Well, for that you can thank my overworked apprentice, i.e. my mum, who's been helping in the UK side.
Overworked apprentice, and you've got a lovely lady called Sarah, is it?
Yes.
The intern.
Yes, I have an intern.
You have an intern.
It's
Modular Realms.
Yes, so exciting. It's starting to become a thing. Now, I don't know exactly how Mum's done the tape, but there is a way that if you open it, you can keep reusing the box. It like flips up and down. Just
Poor Mum. 380 of those.
I mean, she's. When I say overworked apprentice, I am not lying about the overworked part. No.
380 of those.
It's insane.
I think your mum deserves flowers.
Yes, she does. And you know what? Like, my mum had offered to help to begin with, and then my dad's got on board. So, whereas my mum is like the overworked apprentice or whatever, we've started nicknaming my dad as being the overgrown dwarf, and now he's helping out and he's doing some of the priming and things like that.
Excellent.
It's time.
So I have a letter. Oh my god! Sorry, I'm just going to show all the people at home. That is superb. Look, we've got a gnomish design.
Of gnomish design.
Turk would love that. Turk's my gnome.
Hey.
It's a beautiful sticker, and it's come wrapped in... See, I'm the sort of person who has to... I don't like... Oh, this is amazing! I I am going to have to get the knife out. I'm not going to rip that sticker, I tell you now. Because Carlos got his. He did a video review, and
yeah, I saw it. It was super cool.
I haven't seen it. I'm a big follower of Carlos, but Carlos probably won't mind me saying this, but I was extremely upset that he got his after me and did a video review before. Okay, so yeah, the tissue's gonna have to be. The tissue's gonna be
sacrificial.
Sacrificial tissue.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm genuinely slightly nervous.
Yeah, I'm trying not to swear or cry today, but
gosh.
This.
Oh.
This is amazing.
Oh, thank you.
This is brilliant. And it's primed, and it's a flagstone. That's a flagstone.
Ah, yes.
Flagstone.
And wood to the other
and
side?
And the wood.
Ah, yes.
Flagstone and wood. And this is unbelievable. The quality is amazing.
Oh, thank you.
I'm not just saying it because you're here either. It's just... This is... Yeah, I'm speechless.
Oh.
My friends will know that shutting me up is not normally requires violence, but oh my god, I can't wait to paint that.
Oh, I cannot wait to see everyone who's painted it. Like, I'm so excited to see the different paint jobs. That is going to be
Airbrush
so
right
cool.
here.
Oh. Wait, you're doing it now?
No, I can't do it now.
Oh, okay.
I will wake up my wife and she will not be happy. I could, but
you know.
Interview, yes, priorities.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I'm speechless.
Oh.
I'm also ridiculously happy, and I'm also upset I didn't order more.
Well, yeah.
There will be more.
There will be more.
There will be more.
No, there will be more for sure.
Right.
I think... So, at the moment, I'm working on getting a manufacturer on board, because at the moment, all of these were made by either myself or my poor mum. So, and we have learnt a lot about 3D printing and manufacturing. But as it's taken off and people have been quite excited about them and wanting more and things, I'm thinking, okay, need to get a manufacturer because we can't do this ourselves forever. So then I've been talking to different manufacturers and doing different things. I'm getting a patent. It's so exciting.
Oh my god.
So, yeah. And so hopefully, and this I don't want to swear by because it's all depending on how the negotiations go and things like that. But fingers crossed, I'll be getting tooling for injection moulding in the next 3 months. So my sort of soft aim is to open it for pre-order before Christmas. We'll see if I hit that deadline. I haven't officially announced it because I don't want to make promises I could keep. Hopefully not.
Hopefully not.
Do you know,
well, it's just you said the only person you're promising to is yourself.
Exactly.
So you've already exceeded my expectations.
Yeah.
Exceeded my expectations.
Oh, thank you. But they will be available again at some point, hopefully soon. But of course, I had hoped to do it get a manufacturer involved a lot sooner. And then one thing I found is I want to find a manufacturer that I really like and trust. And one thing is I didn't want to export the manufacturing to China or something like that. I wanted to have it here because, I don't know, Modular Realms. Yeah, and Modular Realms means a lot to me, and so I want to do it right if I can.
Yeah.
So the plastic is made of recycled stuff and all of that jazz. And I want to keep, and it's recyclable packaging, and I want to keep those values because, you know, it's a little piece of me and I want to reflect how I would like to be. So the manufacturing has taken a bit longer because I'm like trying to find a manufacturer that I really like and trust, and we can work together to do really cool things.
And I think every single one of your Kickstarter backers would be totally okay with it. I mean, I'm just one of them, and I don't say that I'm going to speak for all of them, but the amount of care, attention and love in this package has just completely overwhelmed me. I don't... Yeah, my wife would tell you I'm a big softie anyway. I cry at movies. Unashamedly, I cry at movies. Whenever something sad happens, the wife and the daughter look at me to see if I'm crying. But yeah, this has been quite an emotional interview for me, and I'm just so happy that I got in on this, and I've got a little piece of this, and there's a little bit of Annabelle here in my home.
Yeah, they're really, each one of those is a little piece of... Yeah.
And it's absolutely wonderful.
It's got sentimental very quickly.
Yeah! So, can you share any future plans or ideas? Because I've got to admit, when I saw it, my brain went into overdrive of things that I wanted to build. I think I mentioned church earlier, so but
yes.
Do you have any plans?
Oh boy, yes. I have so many ideas and so many plans, and it's quite difficult to be like, no, do one thing at a time, focus on getting this out, and then we'll do this, and then we'll do that, like, because I'm like, but I want rivers, but I want a castle, like, my god, I really want a castle, and I want a castle that's modular, and I can take it all apart and then build a completely different castle with the same pieces, and then a different castle with the same pieces, and then maybe change it and make it like underground crypts or things like that. Like, oh, so that's coming at some point. I'm just having to try and pace myself. So,
yes, there's only one of you. There's only one of you.
Yes. So at the moment it's fulfilling all the Kickstarter rewards, then getting the manufacturing sorted so I can start using the same terrain from the Kickstarter, but allowing people to order more, because I've had a lot of requests and I feel real bad being like, no, not yet, sorry.
No,
so
that's
get that sorted.
Perfectly okay. Perfectly. I will wait. I will wait.
And then, so hopefully early next year is when new types of terrain come out. And lockdown has been, I mean, in some ways I don't like lockdown because I don't like being caged inside, but it's really good for designing new terrain because I'm just sat at my computer creating new places, and it's, so there's been a lot of new ideas come out of lockdown that I don't want to talk too much about because a girl's got to keep her secrets.
A girl does have to keep her secrets. It doesn't mean to say that I'll try and get them out to you after the interview.
That's fair. That's fair. Just between you and me.
Yes, on the QT.
Yeah.
So, but I was happy when I backed it. I was happy when I saw it, and I'm just overjoyed now that I have it in my hands. And who knows, I might be playing D&D again soon. You just give me a reason to go back.
Yes.
These are brilliant. I'm supposed to be painting a Blood Bowl team of orcs tomorrow. Supposed to be.
Messing up everyone's schedules.
Yes. How dare you, Annabelle?
I know. See, one of the things that really makes me happy is a lot of the people that back the Kickstarter, a lot of them have played D&D before or are big D&D nerds, which is amazing. But there's also been a lot of people, maybe 25%, that have messaged me saying, you know, I've never played D&D before, but I've been wanting to get into it, and then asking for recommendations on what to put on the sides and things. And people saying, I want to get my family into it. And it's like, I love the idea. So there's like one person was saying, they're going to do all the painting with their kids, and then they're going to make characters with their kids and do like as a family game. And I was thinking, oh, that's so cool, like, and there's going to be all these stories coming out of this, and I'm like, oh,
just think what you've given to the world. I mean, like I say,
they're giving it to me, really, aren't they? All their stories,
they're giving it back. But I mean, you've 25% of 380 people is 90 people. I don't know, can't remember.
Yes,
80 people. There's 80 people who are sharing that with their kids and their family and their friends and starting new adventures, and all 380 will be doing new adventures, and that's a gift that you've given to them, and that is just, you can't put a price on that. That's amazing. Well done, Annabelle.
Oh, thank you.
You are awesome. Thank you.
Oh, dude.
It's my turn to make you cry.
No.
Normally I tend to end my interviews by asking what sort of advice you would like to give to someone, and that being part of whoever I'm speaking to, specialist subject. So I'm assuming your advice, if you want to start a Kickstarter, is do the backing.
Yeah. Yes. If you're selling product or through Kickstarter, Pledge manager. It's worth it. It's worth it. Also, maybe do a good video. So, like, I did the Kickstarter I didn't really have any money to invest in it. So, I bought the 3D printers beforehand, and then that was me skint. So the video was, I filmed it myself. Well, my landlord helped me film parts of it, and then I did it, and then all the editing and things was myself. So it's alright, but it's not great. And I think that if you're doing a Kickstarter, it's worth spending a little bit to get someone professional help you. It's worth it.
That's brilliant. Thank you ever so much, Annabelle, for number one, sending this into the world. Number two, the amount of love and beauty in the packaging, let alone. Huge thank you to your mum as well.
Oh yes, and my dad as well, because he's helping out. Yeah.
And thirdly and lastly, thank you ever so much for giving up some of your time to spend talking to me
at all
about your passions.
It has been a real pleasure.